Melanie Traylor, and today I'm showing you a brand new fabric collection, a very mini stash builder fabric collection. So before I get to the fabric collection, I just want to tell you where I'm going with this. I'm writing my second book, and it's really close to me to start producing the samples for it, like quilts and things like that. But I'm still kind of not quite there yet. So still working on that. But let me just tell you a little bit about what this book is about, because it really digs into this whole thing I've got going on here. So this book that's coming up is about your stash. It's about your stash getting out of control and things that you can make that are really, really simple to get things used up and your fabric moving, right? Because the worst thing that can happen is things get stagnant in your stash, and you keep buying too much. We love fabric. It's very inspiring. And when I see a fabric that I like, I buy it, whether I need it or not. So that's the whole concept of this book. But other than that, the book kind of goes into a healthy stash, organizing your stash, just everything that you can think of to do with stash, this book is about. So while working on it, I realized that I wanted to put out some very small fabric collections of easy to use fabrics that build up certain parts of your stash. So for me, my stash is organized by colors, and I have colors that are way more abundant with fabric, and then colors that don't have enough. So I feel like inspiration, when inspiration hits you and you don't have what you need in your stash, it kind of puts a damper on your working towards that quilt, right? So there's a part of the book that I'm writing, that I just finished actually, that said, when you're perusing quilt patterns and then suddenly you see a quilt that you really, really want to make, if your stash isn't there, you can't make that quilt right then and there. You either have to go shopping, you have to order online, you have to do something, right? But if you have a healthy stash, you don't have to do any of those things. You just go dig in your stash and get what you need to make the quilt that suddenly is in you that you have to make, right? So that's kind of where I was going with this fabric collection. So there's another part to this as well. So I want to have a healthy stash, and I wanted to make some collections that are all one single-ish color, different shades of a single color or two. But I also wanted to put out some fabric lines that are not brand new fabric lines, by the way. These are all designs that you've already seen from me before, just remixed with some new colors. And I wanted to put out some lines of colors that I don't use a lot. So I don't use aqua a lot in my quilts. I can't tell you the last time I used an aqua fabric in a quilt. So I thought it might be a good opportunity for me to put out some colors that maybe you love and that I'm not using a lot, so I'm not putting in my collections a lot. So I thought that might be something you would be interested in, but also just revisiting some of those designs that I've already done and just kind of remixing them in their own collection. So this one is called Peace Lily, and it's going to be the first of those stash builder collections. And it's 10 pieces, so really, really small. And if you've ordered any of my low volume collections, this is kind of the same thing. I would consider that low volume collection part of a stash builder, just like I would consider this. So I'm going to show you all of these one by one, but I just kind of wanted to tell you about where this was coming from. And it's all about stash, and I'm hoping to have this book out by the end of the year. We'll see if that happens. I've got most of it written, and I just need to get going on the patterns. So without further ado, let me show you Peace Lily. Okay, so here they all are together. And what I want you to notice is that they're all in the same color family. So not a lot of colors going on. We're focusing on aqua, turquoise, minty greens in Peace Lily. So this I would consider to go in all the same space of your stash. So this would all be in my turquoise aqua drawer. My stash is in drawers, so this would be in that drawer altogether. So that's kind of what I've stuck with. I've limited color, so we're really focused on those colors. And what you may notice while looking at them all at the same time is they're almost all blenders. And they have very minimal color within each design. And the thing about fabrics like this, and the book is going to go into a lot more detail about this particular thing, but the thing about blenders is that they're really, really easy to use. And the reason is if I had a fabric here that had purple, blue, and green, now I have to find fabrics in shades of purple, blue, and green. And I have to make sure I find a purple, I have to make sure I find a blue, I might have a green, and then I want to have, you know, one with all those three colors in it. So those fabrics, while lovely and definitely needed, not saying they're not needed, they're definitely needed, sometimes they can be a little bit difficult to use. Whereas something that has one or two colors of the same family is really, really easy to use. It's really easy to pop it into a quilt and it work. Whereas those fabrics with a lot of different colors on can sometimes be a little bit more difficult to use. So these Stash Builder collections that you're gonna see start coming out from me focus on easy to use within a single color family. All right, so that is what they all look together. So I would put these all in a single quilt. Yes, definitely. I would throw in some solids. I mean, you can add another pop of something else. This is just easy to use within the same family type of fabrics, mostly blenders. So that's kind of what I was going for when I put this together. And every single one of these prints is from one of my prior collections, and it's just been recolored. All right, so I'm going to show you each of the prints now. I've got these in a little bit of a color order because it always makes me so happy to see them that way. All right, here we go. This is Buddleia in Vanilla, and you will recognize it from my Garden Therapy fabric line that came out this past December. This is the palest of the fabrics within Peace Lily. Here it is up close. It's got kind of a vanilla. This is the only one that I would consider probably a low volume-ish, but it's got enough color where I think that it could stand with this collection of aqua shades. All right, so that is Buddleia Vanilla. This one I was really excited to use because this is Boho Bouquet in Forget Me Not, and Boho Bouquet is from my very first fabric line, Earthy Goodness. So this was my favorite print from that collection. So this one comes back in all new colors. So got a little bouquet type thing going on, but still some space. And they're turned both directions so it wouldn't have to be used, you know, directionally. That is Boho Bouquet in Forget Me Not. All right, this one is called the Dahlias in Clear Sky, and this fabric was from my Lighthearted collection, and it was a good seller in that collection. But it has dahlias, and then there's a little butterfly, and this one is just very minimal color again. Another good blender, but you know, you could also fussy cut this if you wanted to, but just very, very minimal, making it very easy to use. Okay, this one is hand-drawn hexes in Celeste, and this fabric was from my Wholehearted collection originally, but it's just little hexy flowers. A little less color is used in this this version of it, but very easy to use within a quilt. Any quilt that you need turquoise in or aqua in, this one would do. All right, so that's hand-drawn hexes in Celeste. All right, this one is called Looking Forward in Seafoam, and this fabric was originally from Cinnamon Tea, and it's just two different leaf prints, and I have it turned around. Very minimum in color again, and this seafoam color is definitely the greenest fabric in this collection. It's a little bit darker than minty probably, but I really, really loved this fabric from Cinnamon Tea, and it was just so delicate, but I really like it in the seafoam too. I'm excited to get to play with these in colors that I don't normally use. All right, this one is Mandala Plaid in Dew Mist. This one is also from Cinnamon Tea, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's from Cinnamon Tea. If not, it might be from Wholehearted, but it's from one of them. This is a bluer, and I think this might be the bluest of the fabrics in this collection, and I really, really love this one. I think I like it in this colorway better than the other colorways that I had it in. Here it is up close. All right, so another easy to use, but almost has like a little plaid quality going on with it. All right, we're getting into some of the darker shades. This one is You Belong in Mint Tulip, and this print is for sure from Cinnamon Tea, and I had it in a 2 different low volumes last time, but here it is, saturated in an aqua turquoise color. Here it is up close. Very saturated this time around. Just some little flowers, and again, blender, easy to use. That's going to be true for all of them. This one is called Hand Drawn Sawtooth and Cruise, and this one is from my Gentleness fabric line, I think. It might be Lighthearted, but I know for sure it was a low volume print. But here it is up close. I like this fabric. I like this shade too. This is a little bit more truer to the turquoise color as far as the rest of these prints. It's a little bit brighter. You could fussy cut, but you don't necessarily have to, which is a good thing. Makes it a little bit more versatile. Again, blender, easy to use. All right, this one is Navigate in Hydrangea, and this is from my brand new fabric collection, Someplace Grand. So this is a newer print, and it's nice to see it in a different shade versus before where it was gold and brown. Here is an up close. It's just hummingbirds, little leaves and flowers. I really like this print. I really like this whole collection. I just feel like this collection is going to be so much easier to work with if you're like wanting things to be more saturated, things like that. But that's Navigate in Hydrangea. And I think this one is going to end up being my favorite. This is Eucalyptus in Drizzle, and it's a grayish blue type shade. I mean, it's obviously still in the turquoise family, but it leans a little gray. And this eucalyptus print was originally in my Lighthearted fabric collection, so it was a low volume before, and now it is saturated in color. This is one of my favorite prints that I've actually ever designed. I love eucalyptus leaves. They're fun to draw, and they're so pretty. I mean, you can't go wrong with them. They're just so pretty. I particularly love that little bit right there. So that is Eucalyptus in Drizzle. All right, so that was Peace Lily. Peace Lily is going to release end of August. We have it available in bundles and yardage. So I'm not going to make it available in kits because it's only 10 prints, and I think I'd find it a little bit difficult to do that. But you could definitely build up your stash with it, or use it for a particular quilt. But in this book that I'm writing, the patterns are going to be a little bit more of digging through your stash. Instead of like collecting fat quarters or quarter yards or half yards, it's going to be more just counting strips. I don't want to give everything away, but it's all very strip, strips. And you're going to be like, have a running total of your strips and things like that. Of course, I will make it fat quarter friendly if you want to work through the patterns, with buying fat quarters and things like that. But it's more about, taking care of your stash, getting fabric out and into a quilt, using it instead of, just letting it sit there. When the book comes out, I plan on having a class that goes with it as like a little companion that can kind of give you a little bit more visuals. there's only so much you can get from words, right? But having that video going through it together might be helpful for a lot of people. So I'm going to show you my stash and show you how some drawers are just out of control and some drawers, you know, are a little bit more healthy. And the book is about taking care of those, in my case, drawers. You might have bins or baskets or things like that, but I keep saying drawers, so I want you to understand. My gold and peach drawer, I got yellow and oranges in the same drawer. It's out of control because those are my favorite colors, right? So that is kind of the drawer that I'm going to be tackling when I work through the quilts in this book. And that's coming. I'm so excited to show you, and I want to tell you more about it, but I'm just going to shut up for now and tell you about it when I actually have something I can, you know, point you towards. For now, that is Peace Lily. It comes out in August. And like I said, we have bundles and yardage. And you can beef up your aqua turquoise drawer if your aqua turquoise drawer needs it. So that's all for now. You can find those fabrics at meanderingmake.com. I'll put a direct link to those fabrics right below this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.